So here we have the Hurkins Dark Breaker Lantern. Now this is a brand new design from Hurkins. If you've watched my channel in the past, you saw me taking a look at the Hurkins Orbit Headlamp. Now that headlamp was very impressive, through an incredible amount of light, was a great option, and here we now have a lantern. So you'll see this lantern comes in this nice case. Now it's very well padded. It's actually a beautiful case. Now, do you need a case for a lantern? Hard to say, but let's get this open so you can take a look. So as we open this up, on the inside here, you will see the lantern. Now this is quite an interesting design. This has a complete ring of LEDs all the way around it, and as we turn to the camera, hey, what's up guys? This is very interesting where it actually has a mirror. So pretty cool. I think it's a unique design. The fact that it has a mirror is kind of crazy, but it's definitely interesting. And when you hold down the mirror, there you go. So not only is this a mirror, but that is also the button, which I think is really a cool and unique idea. Now, I guess a couple of quick thoughts is, if you're not careful, you will now see I put spots right in the middle of the mirror. So pushing on the sides will kind of help you. Maybe you want to pick a couple of designated areas that you choose to push on so you don't really get the whole thing kind of dirty, but it definitely works. And when you hold that down, you'll notice that you can swivel the mirror. You'll notice that is the actual mechanism that makes this brighter and dimmer. Very cool, totally unique. I've never seen anything quite like it. Definitely interesting. And you'll notice that the other thing you can do, and it's going to be subtle, but as you twist this outer ring, it actually changes from more of a spot to a flood. Spot, flood. Definitely unique, very interesting. I think it's a cool design. It is very, very unique. Now, if you flip it over, you will notice this has the ability to basically take these pieces here, pop them open, and you can hang this. You can also use these as a stand to hold the lantern up. So tonight I will be using this in my camping setup. I'll be using this to kind of get it hooked into the inside of my tent, illuminate my tent, and hopefully give me a good overall illumination while I'm getting ready for bed. Now the other thing you'll notice, there is a USB, so a standard micro USB, very simple, standard design, very typical USB connector. So this is a rechargeable lantern. Now one thing I was really hoping to see is that this bottom part was magnetized. I think that would have been brilliant. To have a magnetized back on this where it's perfectly flat would have made this so versatile. Maybe you would have used this underneath like a car hood. Maybe you would even use it on a locker. I could see girls loving this thing. You put it on the inside of a locker, press the button, do the makeup, kind of dim the thing down, brighten it up. Absolutely cool. But the fact that it was not magnetized kind of bummed me out a little bit. I think that's a miss. Other than that, I'll be interested to see how this is tonight. I'm here at this beautiful river. It's a good opportunity to test out good quality camping gear. So with this Hurkins Dark Breaker Lantern, I'll be very curious to see how it performs. Yeah, this company Hurkins made this headlamp that was completely ridiculous. It was unbelievable. Oh, it's a headlamp? I thought you said a lantern. No, they made a headlamp that was really super bright and awesome, and then they just came out with this lantern. I'm not gonna drop it. Is that not how you turn on? Yeah, long press. There you go. Oh yeah. How'd you figure that out? No button? Yeah, I just figured it's either push this or push that. Yeah. So pretty neat. Nice mirror. Multiple settings or just one? Yeah, and now swivel the mirror. It's kind of neat how they do that, huh? Oh yeah.
Daddy, what's that?
New lantern. So that goes there. And that's your bright. Yep. And then the other thing is, if you grab the white part, you can swivel that. It goes like, yeah, quarter turn. Oh, so it goes to, I was wondering what those bubbles were. Oh, that is bright. So yeah, it's a spot or flood, which is pretty cool.
Have you tried it at night yet?
Nah, I'm gonna give it a try.
See the distances? Yeah.
Looks like it almost goes a little warmer, doesn't it? You see when they go.
Oh, the color.
Yeah, does the color change just a little bit?
Oh, crap.
Daddy, is that ours?
No. So
Looks like the color changes just a little bit, huh?
It's theirs?
Hey, B, don't throw anything on the fire while we're cooking, okay? Okay.
I don't trust them.
Did it change colors?
Why is that turning off on you? Are you accidentally pushing the button?
I'm not pushing the mirror. Unless this rim is pushing the mirror down.
Try it again. See what. I'm curious about that because that would be a little flaw. That's worth identifying it. So
right. So I'm just pushing down on this to get a little more tension on that. So push down.
It's definitely changing the color temperature.
Big one.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Well,
it's worth keeping an eye on. It's not a battery issue. It's just the mechanism.
I'd like one of these to have a hook.
I agree.
Like a wire carabiner.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's one of the things I realized is you can't easily get that on like a ridge line, right?
If you had two, and then one of these was like a wire carabiner.
Yeah, usually they
so
are
you could do that
open on
one
alternating ends, right?
So if you could open that, then you could just hang it on one.
Yep.
And it would probably still be balanced enough.
Yep.
Because most tents have hooks on top to hang a.
Correct.
To hang a lantern.
The other thing I was hoping was the back was magnetic, and it's not. I think
cool.
that is a downfall in my opinion.
I'd be interested to see what the cast of light is.
Right.
Because the tent's so low, if it's really focused, you don't get a broad light.
Yeah, we'll check that out.
So hang it up in your tent and see if you can, maybe twisting it changes, because it hits these little cones in here, right? So that looks like it makes it less focus, like it disperses, right? By hitting that, it kind of spreads out the light. So that looks more focused. That maybe looks like it spreads out the light a little bit more. So definitely at night.
What the? Son of a...
So yeah, it'd be definitely worth hanging up in the tent and seeing how the light works. Because if it's real focused, then it doesn't work well in the tent. Yeah, it'd be cool to see what the cast light on that is.
Interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's different. So we're at least going to charge this thing up again. You can see here I have it connected to the battery pack, and the light's blinking there. So definitely going to charge up. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a fluke, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right. So day 2 retake. See if we can get this to replicate the problem, right? So last night we had a little issue. May have been the battery just wasn't fully charged, and if that's the case, I'm gonna call user error. So long press. Yep. Now you were getting that to turn off by racking on the dial, right?
Yeah, the light dial.
I feel like we were doing this and it was darker last night.
Yeah, it definitely was.
That light is definitely bright in my eyes. Maybe it was just timing out, like with the battery, because it wasn't fully charged. I mean, that thing is definitely fully charged. It's bright as can be. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the thing turning off as you're twisting that, it's not doing that anymore, right?
Nope.
Okay, so that's good. We'll get it out tonight and test it and see if we have any issues. So
yeah,
so far so good. Maybe it was just I didn't charge it right.
You charged it for how long did you charge it for? Do you remember?
I thought it was good. You never know. Maybe the plug wasn't fully in.
How long did they say the battery lasts?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
Maybe if it's a super long battery, maybe it's a super long charge.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it charged all day, so. All right, we'll try it in a little bit. So this is the point in the evening when everything starts getting really dark. And the camera doesn't see quite as well as I can. I can still navigate without a light. However, now using the Hurkins lantern, long press, and here you go. So we're gonna go through the modes here. Now I just gotta kind of figure out where I'm at mode-wise. Now I think my problem was yesterday that I just unfortunately didn't have this all the way charged up. So I'm glad actually that that's all it was. I don't really want to have a problem with the product, so chalk it up to user error. Totally my fault. Thought I had it charged. I don't know really what happened, but anyway. So going through the modes here, and I'm swiveling the glass on the mirror So as I swivel here, brightening up. Now this is infinite adjustability and going all the way, I believe, to 1,000 lumen output. That's actually a pretty decent throw when you look at it there. That glow is fairly substantial. It's doing a nice job illuminating well off into the distance and giving me good quality light. So now as you see here, just going through it again, I'm going to swivel the mirror, and that dims it way down. I mean, barely any light. Just enough to do what you need in front of you. And that is awesome. If you're going to be using this in a tent, you do not need a ton of light. But now, if you want a good amount, I'm going to just crank this here. And bam, like there you go. Pretty substantial amount of light. So I like the output, and I like the overall, I would say, range of output. And the fact that you just kind of swivel that, it is fairly easy. Now here, the outer ring, you'll see a little change in color temperature. But now, again, actually that looks to be the spot. Let's check it out. So we have that there, which looks like spot. And that, which is more of flood. So as you look at it here, I had it kind of backwards. The one that's a little more directed there, you can see through those lenses, that's more of a spot. So at that point, this is on the lowest mode. Let's crank this up. Oh, you can see it wasn't all the way down, it was part way. All right, so now, oh wow, there you go. I mean, that's a spotlight. And that is a real good throw. I would say, man, 50, 60 feet. I mean, for a lantern. This is not a headlamp. This is a lantern. And I would say it's doing a very nice job. So really cool. No problem navigating around. Now, I don't know how long the battery will last. Something to consider. But as I make my way back towards camp, definitely able to illuminate my way. Nice and easy. Very clear. I like this. Seems to work very well. Patching yourself up?
Yeah, that's not super sure.
That's bright. That's wicked bright. It like makes the whole tent turn pink, like yellow.
Who's in there?
Me.
Yellow.
That gives a decent amount of light.
That's a nice glow there. No, that's, I don't even think all the way up. Yeah, see, that goes even higher if we want it to. But I don't even know if we want it to. So it's enough light on that end of the tent, but not really on this end. So we kind of need to hang this, but there's no real good place to do it. And if you hang it, I feel like it's like crazy bright. But definitely works. That's wild. So alright guys, there you have it, a field use video using this Hurkins Dark Breaker lantern. Now I have to say, all things considered, I am fairly impressed at this little lantern. Now there were a couple of things. First off, I did not necessarily get the best footage inside the tent. Basically, I found out that I didn't even have a hook or a ridge line on the top of the tent to hook this up and really give it good use. That was kind of a shame, and that's the one part of this review that was really left lacking. So what I had to do was basically set this up on the stand. You'll see I put it towards the head end of the tent just to give me enough illumination, and that kind of left it dark on the other end of the tent. Now, it wasn't necessarily nearly as dark as it looked on camera. The eye does a better job than the camera picking up low levels of light. So this did illuminate the entire tent. However, it would have been better had I had the opportunity to really hang this from above. Now the other thing is, I can't believe I messed up charging this. I really thought it was fully charged, but obviously it wasn't at first. I did end up charging it. I used my battery bank to charge this throughout the day, and it worked well at night. So user error, totally my fault, not a problem with this product at all, and I just wanted to double, triple, and quadruple clarify that. So the product worked very well. I like the mirror, I like the overall ring and the way that you use the different modes. I love that it has both a spot and also a flood. That is totally awesome. And the mirror now, I have added that little protector, so it does help reduce the spots as you touch it. Now I think this protector will probably get scratched over time. It would be nice if maybe the box came with 2 of them, just so that at some point you could swap it out, but again, not a big deal. In fact, I bet you could use any sort of a thin film from like a cell phone or some other device like that. But generally speaking, the output on this is absolutely amazing. It does a wonderful job, and I think it's a really good option if you're looking for something in this sort of smallish size range. For me, that's a good compact size. It fits nicely. You could conceivably even connect this to some sort of a strap, maybe on a pack or even on your belt, to give you a little bit of an illumination other than a headlamp. But I think 2 things. One, I would love to see this sort of hanging mechanism here changed. So by putting a brake on this side and a brake on the alternate side on each one of these, allows you to kind of slip it up and hook it on a ridgeline. That's kind of a big deal to me. I think that should definitely be an option and would still be strong enough to support this while standing up. And the other thing is definitely magnetizing the back. Again, another sort of big deal in my mind. If that was the case, this would definitely be a go-to product for me all the time. Not just for the camping and backpacking application, but definitely for me in general use around the house. And I think that's important. Different things like automotive tasks, general house tasks, doing work in tight little areas. The fact that you can stand this up, you can hang it, but if you could also magnetize mount this, would definitely be sweet. So unfortunately, just leaves it a little bit lacking, when in my opinion this could be an absolute home run. It's close, but not quite there yet. I'd love to see a version 2.0. So I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Hurkins who did provide this product for review. I do greatly like it. Again, I think it's got some really great things going for it, and I'm interested to see how this performs into the future. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.